Michelle Withers here with Creative Success Systems, and we are talking sweet samples for sweet sales. So let me tell you my idea and why I thought it was super important to have a training on this. I have heard so many of my clients say either people don't request samples or they do and they get them and then they don't use them. Does that happen to you? Comment no below if they get them and do not use them, okay? Because that is just a bummer. So we got brainstorming and all of a sudden it hit me. There was this book I'd read that gave me some ideas on what I think we could do a little bit differently to then have amazing results. So you love the little tweaks that make the big difference. So let me give you some ideas. And this stems from a book I'd read called The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch. And in this book, he is talking about, he's actually dying from pancreatic cancer, and it's life lessons he's learned in his life. He was a professor, and there were times where he needed other professors to read some papers, dissertations, different things he had, and he knew it wasn't always something people loved doing. So he added a little kind of bribe slash guilt slash thank you to these papers. And what he did was send the paper out with a little box of Thin Mints. He's like, everybody loves Thin Mints. He said, this is a thank you for you to enjoy after you have read the paper. Now, he knew when he did that, when he followed up, the only thing he's going to have to ask is, hey, how are your mints? And that would then let them know he was following up on the paper. So we want to create a system similar to that, and you're going to love it. So the very first thing I want to talk about in this video is, what are you going to send? Now, some of you have individually packaged samples that your company gives you. Maybe things a mask, maybe it's a little seasoning. There's all sorts of things that sometimes you have. Sometimes you're making up things on your own. So here's a couple tips for you. And others of you also have a situation where you're like, I have absolutely nothing to send as a sample, okay? When you are that type of person, a lot of times there's education that comes in connection to your product. For example, Damsel in Defense is all about safety and protection. She could send a little DVD, and the reason why we'd send it in the mail is just because it's physical and it's fun to get interesting mail other than bills, right? And so she would send that with this little token we're going to talk about. So just so you know, the cheapest way to do this is anything that's super flat. So you want to choose whether it's going to be a chocolate or some sort of sweet that is flat. You want to send samples that can be flattened out. Anything in just a really small, lightweight, padded envelope is going to be your least expensive thing, your least in cost of investment to send. So I want you to do some brainstorming. Comment down below with the sample you're going to be sending, and I'm going to be giving you some added tips. Now, remember, what we want to add to this is a little treat, and I'm going to give you some wording on this. So rather you come up with, like, I love the little square Ghirardelli chocolates. Those are great and flat versus something that's kind of bulky and round. Even though there's some chocolates I really like that are round and all sorts of shapes. Anything that is flat, any sort of Thin Mint, but find out, are they chocolate, or are they caramel people, or are they mint people? Get a little information and send something customized. If you prefer more like gummy treats, there's all sorts of things you could do, but send something where we're going to tell them they can't consume it until they try the product. All right, we're going to have some fun. See you next time. Bye-bye.